Welcome to the Transformational Soul Show with your host, Ruth Soltman. Are you ready to experience more stability in your life? You can change your life and be who you are meant to be, your authentic self.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to the Transformational Soul. My name is Ruth Soltman, and I want to thank you so much if you're here watching on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter or Rumble, wherever you may be listening to the replay. I greatly appreciate you tuning in. But we are streaming live right now on Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, and Twitter. So it's always exciting. We can chat a little bit. You can comment. If you are watching and you haven't said anything, please say hello. I'd love to, be able to say hi to you and with a name. That would be awesome. Please hit the like or the thumbs up button, depending on where you're watching from. And please share and retweet. I was just retweeting the show right before, as we were doing the little intro. And, I greatly appreciate that. Thank you to all of you who are always sharing my show information. I greatly appreciate that. Please go check out my website, ruthsoltman.com. That's RUTH, S as in Sam, OL, T as in Tom, M as in Mary, A, N as in Nancy.com. You can find out lots of information and ordering information for my books, my oracle cards, and all of my services. And if you haven't already, I know many of you have, I hope you will come on Telegram and join our Goldylocks Productions group. There's so much amazing energy on there. The group members get to share a lot of videos and music and just a lot of different things. And it's a lot of fun. So I hope you'll come over there and join us there. And don't forget that Goldylocks Productions has an online store where you can purchase some awesome merchandise. So this spring we all did a few more designs, and I hope you guys will check those out. And do not forget about these amazing cards from Goldylocks. This beautiful tin, the Energized cards. And I don't know where my front one is that says Energize, but these, here we go. These oracle cards are absolutely amazing. And we all use them on our shows all the time. And there's different messages from the different show hosts. And there's some beautiful sacred geometry symbols on there. So I told you about the cards. And you can also become a Goldylocks Productions VIP. There are different members of different membership levels, and you get different perks that go along with each of those levels. So you guys might want to check those out. You can do that either through Patreon or YouTube. And there's also a special VIP show twice a month. And if you're thinking about sponsoring one of the Goldylocks Production shows, then you can contact Tiffany to do that. She'll make up a little advertisement or commercial. So if you have you have a new business, or it could, maybe you have a bigger business, maybe you're just starting out, maybe it's just a hobby, but you want to get your information out there. You could do that by sponsoring a show, and then Tiffany will create this little advertisement for you, and it's a great way to get your stuff out there. So I do want to say hello to some people. Hello, Robert. Thank you so much, Robert, for your super sticker. And I apologize, but last week, I believe I forgot to thank you for your super sticker. I know after the show, I did contact you because I didn't want you to think it was intentional or anything. But I think my mind wasn't caught up with what I was seeing. So I just want to say thank you so much, Robert. I greatly appreciate that. And I also want to say hello to Richard Riddle. Hello, Richard. And Veronica. Hello, Veronica. So glad you can all be here tonight. Hello, Sam. And Sarah. Hello, Sarah. I'm glad you guys could all join me tonight. Now, it is not ever required, but if you would like to make a donation to the show, to me, you could do that via my Venmo, and I'm sure Tiffany will put, oh, she already did. You are on top of it. You can do that via my Venmo or Super Chat or Super Sticker on YouTube or a Rumble Rant on Rumble. Now, if you make a donation of $5 or more, it's going to move you to the front of the line when I do the messages. And I want to say happy birthday to anyone who is celebrating a birthday this week. And congratulations to Linnell. I'm sure most of you know who Linnell is, but she became a grandma this week. So congratulations, Linnell. Very exciting. So did everyone enjoy their long weekend? Well, at least here in the States, we had a long holiday weekend. Some people had 3-day weekends. Some people had 4. My weekend went along a little bit differently than I had expected. Friday, I got to go to my granddaughter Harley's dance recital, and it was at 6 in the evening, and they live like almost an hour away. So we thought we would leave early. So we left at 4 o'clock to be there at 6. We thought we'll go sit. We can chat with Amanda and the family and stuff while we're waiting for it to start. Well, probably about the time we were leaving our house, there happened to be this accident, a fatal accident on the freeway. And it was where these 2 freeways interchanged. I guess that's what it was. So 4 o'clock on a Friday, on a holiday weekend. So there's a lot of traffic out. So they closed down, I believe they closed down both of the freeways. I'm not positive, but it did affect the one that we were taking. So we had to get off the freeway. Traffic was delayed, blah, blah, blah. So I'm texting my daughter to let her know, we're stuck in traffic, but we're coming. I find out that my granddaughter Harley is the first act. So I'm thinking now, this is going to work out, right? So we get there at like 6:01, just in time to see her dance. So it took us 2 hours just to get there for the dance. That she did really well. I find out after we're there, she's the first to act, and she was in like the finale too. But there are 52 acts. The dance recital was 3.5 hours long, the longest one I think I've ever been to. But it was a lot of fun because a lot of my grandkids were there, and it's just fun getting to see them. So then Harley and her sister Hannah came back with me and spent the night. And then Saturday, I went to house sit for my daughter Kristen, and I was going to house sit overnight and watch the dogs and stuff because she's got 3 dogs. And so Hannah came with me, I think, and Harley stayed here. And we had a really great afternoon on Saturday. I spent 3 hours in the pool with her. She had a blast. And then I ordered her some pizza. I did the spiritual message circle. And then on Sunday, then my daughter texted me and she said, well, why don't you guys just stay until Monday? I'm like, they were coming home on Sunday. I'm like, okay. So then I got to spend some extra time with Kristen and her 2 kids. So that was a lot of fun. So it was a very enjoyable weekend. I got 3 days of sitting by the pool and going in the hot tub. The only thing missing was Mr. Sun because he decided he would stay behind the clouds. But it was still so relaxing and very enjoyable and a lot of really good family time. So I don't know if you guys realize this or not, but today is the last day of May 2023. It is crazy that we are already through 5 months of this year. Now, tomorrow is June 1st, Joyful June. And that's what I felt for a while, Joyful June. It's going to be a joyful month for most of us. And I really feel that. So last week, just before my show, I received a package in the mail. And I was sitting on the porch and I saw it and I'm like, I wonder, somebody probably ordered something. I wonder who this is. And I looked at it and I saw my name on it and I got really excited because I knew I hadn't ordered anything. So I looked at it and it was all the way from Australia. It was from Veronica. And I'm, a little bit, I was very rushed before the show and I forgot to bring the package upstairs with me. It's sitting downstairs on my desk because I wanted to show you everything that was in it. But I'm going to tell you about it. She knitted me some stuff, these awesome, I don't know if you would call them like gloves without the fingers or hand warmers or whatnot. But she knitted me some stuff. She sent me some cappuccino and some chocolate. Now, when I messaged her, she said that she had heard that their coffee in Australia and their chocolate tastes different than it does here in the States. So she told me, let her know, what I thought. It tastes a lot different. It tastes a lot better. So the first candy I tried, now this was all really interesting, was a Milky Way bar. Now when I looked at it, I thought it was the same as ours. I opened it and I took a bite, and it is the equivalent of what we call a Three Musketeers bar. It doesn't have the caramel in it, like our Milky Way does. So just keep that in mind as I'm giving you some nutritional information on the two different versions. So I compared the Australian Milky Way to the U.S. Three Musketeers. Now the one from Australia, it's 22 grams, which is, when I did the calculations on Google, it's about 3/4 of an ounce. The full-size U.S. bar is almost 2 ounces. It's 1.92 ounces. Hello, Joyce. Hello, Robin. Now, the Australian candy bar had 3.2 grams of fat. Ours has 7. The Australian one had 16.1 grams of carbs. Ours has 42. The Australian one has, this is my favorite one, 12.7 grams of sugar, while the U.S. one has 37 grams. 37 grams. Now, it also says right on the package, no artificial colors or flavors. And let me tell you, it does taste superb compared to what we have here. You don't feel like you're biting into pure sugar. It tastes so much better. Now, yes, the U.S. bar is about twice the size, but that is part of the point. Why does it need to be so huge? Think about that. Now, she also sent me some Cadbury chocolate and Cadbury caramello. They were so good too. Now, you know how a lot of times after you eat a candy bar, all of a sudden you're craving something like maybe like chips or pretzels or something. I always thought it was because of all the sugar, but when I ate these, that did not happen. You didn't get any kind of a craving afterwards. So this started me thinking about a lot of foods that we consume and about how foods are so different in other places, in other countries. So now you guys can Google a lot of this and do research on a lot of this for yourselves, but I'm just going to give you a little bit of basic information. Check out our fast food sizes. They differ a lot between our country and others. The portions here are much larger. Check out the comparisons between school lunches in our country versus others. I saw one that somebody had posted on social media a couple weeks ago, maybe even a week ago, and it had a picture of a kid's lunch tray from Italy, a school lunch in Italy, and it had another one with a school lunch in the U.S. I'm telling you, I almost cried. This meal in Italy was beautiful. It looked so appetizing. And the one here, I don't know why anybody would want to eat it. I'm going to see if I can show you guys the picture. I'm not sure. But it just blew my mind. I mean, I knew school lunches here were not that great, but this. Let's see. Let's see if you guys can see this. Can't tell where I'm putting there. There we go. Now look at that picture. The top one is a school lunch in Italy. Look at that pitiful one on the bottom. That is absolutely ridiculous. And I know there's some writing on there, so it's hard to see what it is. It looks like it's nachos with beef on it and some raisins in the other pocket. But I mean, lunches weren't even that bad. When I was a kid, we had pretty decent school lunches, but they have just gotten really awful. I know a lot of the states, they have like free lunches for everybody. Some of them have free breakfast. And what I have noticed from what I hear from my grandkids, they offer like the sugary cereals. You can get a cinnamon roll. I mean, it just blows my mind. Absolutely blows my mind. Tiffany said, Veronica said, wow, that's interesting. I believe we use cane sugar and you guys use corn syrup. Oh, Veronica, let me tell you, this is so bizarre because when you read food labels, a lot of times we see things and we don't really know what they are. Do you know there are 61 different names for sugar? 61. And you guys look that up because some of them will sound familiar, but other ones you'll never even have heard of. It's absolutely crazy. Tiffany said, yes, other countries do not allow so much sugar and chemicals in their foods and drinks. Yes. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yes, it's very true. And it's so sad that we do. Because what is this? First of all, it's teaching kids to this is how they eat. They start eating when they're younger. That's the habits they're forming. That's how they're going to eat all their life. But, it's hard for them to change that when they get older, when they've been doing it for so long. And that's how they were raised and everything. It's just crazy. But when I saw that picture, I was like, we need school lunches like that here. We need to give our kids something that has some kind of nutritional value. Now, quite a while back, Robin McGuire from Cosmic Soul Food mentioned this app that she uses. It's called, I don't know if it's Yuka, how you pronounce it, but it's Yuka. And it has a picture of a carrot on it. Now, I downloaded this app after she told me about it. And what you do is you can scan your food, the barcode, and it will tell you the different things that are in it and whether or not it's healthy or if it's poor, poor choice. And it'll give you all the nutritional information on the item. And it'll give you a score, and it also will give you like how much protein, carbs, sugar, additives, and such are in it. And then they further break down the additives, and they'll tell you how much of a risk each one is. They'll tell you what it is and why it was used in that product. It's very educational, but let me warn you, if you decide to use this, if you download it and use it, and you go in your pantry or in your refrigerator and you start scanning stuff, it's going to shock you. Because things that I thought that I had bought that were pretty healthy did not score very well. Other things that I wasn't, I kind of thought might not be as good, scored really high. So you really got to, you'll be really amazed when you start doing it. And once you do it, it's going to overwhelm you because you probably have a lot of stuff in there that's going to get a low or a poor rating or that has tons and tons of additives. And you're going to think, now what do I do? Have to throw all this stuff out? But it's really crazy. There's so much more in our food than what we think there is. And I've heard before that when you read a food label, if there's more than 3 ingredients, don't buy it. But you can pick up something very simple and it'll have like 20 ingredients in it. And most of them you can't even pronounce. Now, the other thing about the sugar that I was going to say too, 61 names that all are sugar. And how many products can you pick up where there's more than one type. Because we have the ones that'll have like the corn syrup. We have the high fructose corn syrup. It'll also maybe sometimes have sugar. It'll have like maybe 3 or 4 different kinds. It's crazy. But there's nothing that we can go to the store and buy that is processed and prepackaged that we can't make ourselves at home. Sarah said, when I used that app, it took me twice as long at the store. Yeah, because you're being more careful and trying to make better choices, and that's wonderful. But then once you get into the flow, yep, Tiffany, that's what I was going to say, that it was worth it. Because once you get into the flow then, and you start buying those items all the time, well, there you go. What I was saying is, so like even like with let's say bottled salad dressing, it's got a ton of different ingredients in it. But if you look up some recipes, salad dressing is very easy to make. And you make it with, you can make it and store it in your fridge like for a week. Make enough for the week. I've made quite a few different kinds of salad dressings, and the flavor in them is much better than the other stuff that you would just buy in the store. And it's like that for everything. We can make our own everything. It's just a lot of times people don't have the time or the energy to be able to do that. Now, there's some people that spend their afternoons on Sunday doing food prep for the whole week. It can be done, even with a busy schedule. It can be done. But just remember that old saying, you are what you eat. Think about that, because we do absorb the energy of the foods that we eat. And you know foods that have higher vibrational energy than ones that don't, because you know how you feel after you eat them. Pay attention to the food labels. They're so important. Know what you're putting into your body, and pay attention to how your body reacts to the different things that you're consuming. And it's not always just what you eat. Sometimes it's what we drink, because so many different beverages are loaded with sugar and artificial sweetener, or artificial colors and artificial flavors. And, pay attention to how your body reacts when you eat the different things, because it's going to tell you what it wants. It will let you know if you're paying attention. And I know some of you are out there going, yeah, I really need to eat better. And it will end there. You won't think about it anymore. And I'm not picking on anybody, because I used to be one of those people. That's just how it is. We don't like to change our habits. We might know that things aren't really that good for us, but it can be very overwhelming. You take that app and you go look at half the stuff you have in your fridge and your pantry right now, and it's going to completely overwhelm you, because you're going to be like, what the heck do I do? What am I supposed to eat? And you can't let it overwhelm you. If you made one change a month, or even every other month, one small change every other month, by the end of the year, that's 6 changes that you've made in your food, in your lifestyle. Because I know it can be overwhelming. One article you read will say, don't eat this because it's going to cause this, and this. Another one will say, it's okay to eat part of that, but don't eat this stuff. You just have to use your own discernment. Your body is going to tell you. Use your discernment. Use your intuition. Listen to your body. Just make one small change at a time, because your body is going to be very grateful. Sam said, need to get over the Diet Coke addiction. Sam, I will tell you one thing that will help. Look up the artificial sweetener that they put in there and all the issues that it can cause. I used to try to tell my mom, because hers was a different kind of soda, but it was a diet one. And she would have bad headaches all the time. She would have a lot of different things. And when I would look it up and tell her, I say, it's caused from this that's in your soda. Oh, no. She never believed it. But for years and years and years, she had so many different side effects. You could say side effects. So yes, please look that up if you haven't already. That may help. Robin said, yes, and almost everything I scan is toxic. Isn't that awful? Isn't that awful? I know. It's all the processed foods that we buy. I remember, like, when I was a kid, my mom pretty much, and my grandma for sure, they always made everything from scratch. It wasn't like, I'm going to go get a box of mac and cheese at the store. No, we made mac and cheese with macaroni and cheese and milk, and we put it in the oven, and it was delicious. But as more and more um, companies came out with all these processed foods to make it so much easier for everyone, we all, most of us eat like crap now. And when you get stuck in that place, and then you all of a sudden want to quit eating a lot of that stuff, your body starts to feel sluggish at first because it's your body's detoxing from it. You can feel like sluggish and really tired, low energy and nausea and headaches. So if you do drop and eliminate something from your diet, drink lots of water because it helps to flush it through your system faster. And I know that from my own experience. Joyce said, Stevenol is not stevia. I have a problem with any sugar substitute. Now, I have used stevia, the all-natural organic stuff that was nothing else in it but the stevia leaf. And I found it to be a really great sweetener. It worked really well for me. Oh my goodness, Veronica. Veronica said, Samir, I use that to unblock my drains. Not joking. It works. The Diet Coke. I remember when I was a kid, my dad would clean the battery cables on the car. He would pour Coke on them, or he would sit the little bolt or whatever in a cup of Coke, and it would completely clean it off. What does that tell you? The Coke syrup was used, I don't know how long ago, but I can remember them giving it to me from one of my kids when they were like an infant or whatever, because it helps with nausea. So, yeah, the Stevenol is stevia modified by man. Yeah, the natural stuff works really well. And the thing with that too is it doesn't spike your blood sugar, which is really good. I guess that was all I had there. What else? But it's so much easier if we just make little changes here and there, small changes, one change every month, every 2 months. Sometimes when you just try to go full throttle and say, I'm eliminating all this stuff, it can be very overwhelming. It can be sad, and sometimes we grieve, right? Sounds ridiculous, but we grieve because a lot of these things might have been like our comfort food. When we were sad, we would eat this, and it would be totally bad for us, but somehow it would make us feel a little better. So, we have a connection to food. And I don't know how it is necessarily in other countries, but here, it's like every celebration we have with family, food is involved, like large amounts of food, like graduation parties, birthdays, holidays, every single thing. It's celebrated like around food. So food has always been like a huge thing. And it can be hard when you go to someone else's house, right? We don't have to eat 100% healthy, perfectly healthy 100% of the time, right? We can have something occasionally, but that I feel like that's how it should be, just occasionally. It's not like we should put some of these things that are so bad for us into our day-to-day menu plan. Richard said, Quaker Oats is good on that app. Some others were poor. Coca, the one with the bear on it, was better. Oh, I think I know which one you mean. Robin said Coke will clean your toilets. Sam's done now with Coke. So that's good. That's good. I'm glad we can help you with that, Sam. But it's hard when you get that. It's what it is, I believe. I know it's an artificial sweetener that's in there, but it spikes your insulin levels, and just like with regular soda, and it's that sugar addiction. I've read so many times over the years that breaking a sugar addiction is more difficult than a cocaine addiction, because I guess because it's so addictive. And the hard thing with sugar is, if you look at most of the things you have in your pantry and stuff, it's in almost everything. Another thing I learned many years ago, and it really ticked me off, they will categorize things and market them as low fat, right? We're taking the fat out, but they had to replace it with something. It has more sugar content. And if you don't believe that, check out some stuff next time you go to the store. I was floored. I was floored. So they're trying to tell you it's healthier if you're, trying to eat a low fat diet or whatever, not telling you that, oh, but we're pumping it up with sugar so it won't taste bad. Okay. Veronica said, Samir, it can be done. I had a friend that drinks 2 liters a day and quit. Wow, then you got this, Samir. She's right. That drank 2 liters. That's a lot. That's quite a lot. Yeah, so the more higher vibrational foods that we can eat, that's going to be better for us. And I know I had some notes on that, but they seem to have disappeared. I don't know. But anyways, you know how you feel after you eat certain things. Think about when you have a big Thanksgiving dinner and how you feel afterwards. Nobody wants to do the cleanup. A lot of times people will go sit and pass out. It's such a heavy meal, and people usually overeat. If you just eat until you're not hungry, not even till you're full, if you just eat till you're not hungry, in my own personal experience, I feel better. My digestion is better. When I overeat or eat a lot of things that I know that my body is not liking, I will get heartburn or indigestion. And then I'm like, well, I really shouldn't be eating that anymore. And it's hard sometimes because it's things that we really like, or things that we've really grown accustomed to over the years. Joyce said, my son-in-law lost 25 pounds in 1 month giving up soda. I totally believe that. I have heard stuff like that from a lot of people, and it's because there's so much sugar in it. So much sugar. Look at all the sugar that children are exposed to now. It's no wonder that, they go to the dentist and they have a lot of cavities. Even if they eat pretty healthy, you get all these like kids snacks and stuff. Look at the boxes of those. They might have some healthy stuff in there, but a lot of times there's still a lot of sugar. And a lot of times there's more than one kind. But just be mindful of what you eat. Just be mindful. And for me personally, summertime, like this time of the year, as the weather's starting to get warm, I'm going to be drinking a lot more water. I have more difficulty drinking a lot of water in the winter, but in the summer, I can't drink enough. So in the summer with the heat, a lot of times you don't want heavier foods or even hot foods. I find that my body isn't tolerating hot foods as well as it used to. My body likes them to be room temperature or cold. So lots of fruit is in season in the summertime here. And sometimes with fruits and vegetables too, you still have to watch the sugar content. Yes, it is natural sugar, but it's still going to spike your insulin levels. Sarah said, even in kids' vitamins, number 1 ingredient. Yes, is sugar. I know. A lot of things that are marketed to children. I want to say it was, I don't know what brand this was, but I think it was the liquid drops for when you have a fever. And I'm pretty sure I looked at it and it had sugar in it. And I thought, holy crap, even in the medicine. Veronica said, fun fact, archaeologists found medieval people had great teeth and many cultures did before the discovery of sugar. I believe that. I totally believe that. And sugar is not the same now as it was maybe 50 years ago. It's not the same at all. I don't know exactly if it's processed differently. I really don't know. But I can remember when I was a kid and my grandma would bake, and it was it was very different. Even the taste of sugar. Richard said, Dave's Killer Bread is great. Their wheat 100% white is 94%. Oh, that's really good. I've had that bread before. It is good. I have found one that I really like from Aldi, and it's low carb and it's vegan too. And it I'm not going to say it makes great sandwiches if you wanted to eat a sandwich, but if you grill it for a sandwich or you make toast, it's pretty decent. And when I looked that up, I thought the rating on that was going to be a whole lot higher than it was, but it still said, I believe, like 60% or something, but that was considered a good rating. Yeah, there it is. 60 out of 100, and that's considered good. However, I will say I'm very proud of this. My peanut butter that I eat, that got an excellent rating because pretty much it's just mashed up peanuts. And I don't even think they put salt in it. I don't know. But it's really good peanut butter. Robin said yes, and they have ADHD and a whole list of other things. The dyes are very bad. I was watching some videos over the weekend too about that and about children's behavior and the food dyes. And it's just crazy that they put this stuff in so much. Now I've seen a lot of things where they're dye-free. They even make like dye-free fever reducer. And a lot of different things that don't have the dyes in them. It would be interesting to see if you took out all of the dyes, the colorings and the artificial flavorings out of a child's diet for a month to see if it made a big difference in their behavior. That would be very interesting. Rama said, I eat only peanuts and nothing else in my peanut butter. Yeah, that's the one. That's mine too. And it's so good. So good. So good. Well, what I did was before the show, I got out my gratitude cards and I pulled out all the ones that said inspiration on them, and I wanted to pull one for everyone. So I did. And okay, this is the one that I got. Okay. It says, what have you grown tired of in your life? Where do you feel bored? What if these sensations were opportunities to reimagine the roles you are playing? Good, Joyce. That's awesome. This beautiful card here. This was from that gratitude deck that I got last year for Thanksgiving. So think about that. That's just a little food for thought. What have you grown tired of in your life? Are you feeling bored? What if these sensations were opportunities to reimagine the roles you are playing? It's a very interesting thought. I have some new cards that I'm going to use. And I can't find a name on here who makes them or anything. I'm going to have to look it up, or else it's just too small and I can't see it. But they're called Shine. Shine from Inside Oracle cards. And I used them for the first time the other night for a reading. And we'll see what happens. So if anybody would like a message, please let me know. And Robert, I've got your name down already. I will be doing yours first. These cards are smaller than some of the other ones. Robert. Let's see what else we got here. Now I do realize that. Oh no, I guess they're not. They're good. Okay, never mind. And I'm going to get Robert a Goldylocks card as well. Okay, let's see. Okay, Sarah. Sam. Robin. Veronica. Joyce. Okay, Robert. I forget that I have my fan on sometimes and cards would just blow right off. Okay. I'm ready. I got it. And Richard. Okay, Robert. Robert Myers. What do we have for you? Robert. Okay. Okay, they're wanting to remind you, Robert, to spend time daily connecting with spirit. Look at that beautiful, beautiful symbol. There's so much energy from that symbol. And that message was from Gala Akashana. It's important to spend time connecting with spirit, which I feel you do a lot through music. Okay, now the first card I pulled for you says you are perfectly beautiful. You are such a beautiful soul, Robert. You really are. And I feel like sometimes you think, well, I need to do this, I need to do that. I kind of need to get my crap together here. But you're a masterpiece already. Don't be hard on yourself about what you think you need to do. Or, what maybe somebody else tells you you should be doing. Because you know better than anyone else about you. But you know better than anyone else about yourself. So keep on doing the work that you're doing, because it's just making your masterpiece even more beautiful. But you're already perfect the way you are. But all of us can, no matter how perfect we are in spirit, we can always make changes, positive changes to our physical life, which in turn is going to affect our spiritual life, of course. Now this one says, show off your sparkle and shine from the inside. And I feel like you do that a lot, Robert. A lot. And people notice, when you ever go, let's say you're at the store and you're just walking along with your grocery cart, but all of a sudden somebody catches your eye. And it's not because they look like a movie star. It's not because I'm not saying that in a negative way towards you, Robert. This is just an example, but there's something about them because they have this energy about them. They have this light about them. And so you notice them, you feel their energy, and you immediately get your attention. That's how you are when you sparkle and shine from the inside. All of that just flows out everywhere, and other people feel it, and other people can connect to it, and it's going to bring more people to you. Yes, Robin, you are a beautiful masterpiece. Absolutely. Let's see where I'm at here. Sent me a message on television. No, I don't think I saw it, but I will look, Robin. So I hope that resonates with you, Robert. Sarah. It says, treat yourself to something beautiful today. Treat yourself to something beautiful today. You've been doing so much work, Sarah. You need to take a break and do something really nice for yourself. Maybe you enjoy going to Starbucks. If you do, go get yourself a coffee. You just do something extra special for yourself. Show yourself how much you appreciate yourself and all of your hard work. It doesn't matter if anybody else in this entire universe knows what you're doing or appreciates what you're doing. You do. You do. And you are the one that needs to appreciate yourself, right? So do something a little extra special for yourself because you've been working hard. And, your angels and your guides, they know how much you've been working. Sam. Huh. Now, this is kind of interesting because I swear, Sam, if I'm not mistaken, something similar to this has come up in cards I've pulled for you in the past. It's about self-care. It says, commit to self-care rituals. So it doesn't have to be what's in the picture, but, self-care, there's so many ways we can show ourselves self-care. And it doesn't have to be soaking in a tub of, a bubble bath. It doesn't have to be going to get our nails done. Take some time to yourself. Even if it's only 10 minutes out of your busy day, take a little time to yourself and just sit and be with yourself. Spend some time outside. I was outside this morning and it was so beautiful out. The birds, they sounded like a choir. There were so many birds just singing. The sun was shining and it wasn't real hot yet. And there was a beautiful breeze, which we don't get very often here. But it was, and I told Judy came outside with me and I was having my coffee. And I said, Judy, look, it is just a beautiful day. And it was just so nice sitting out there and just enjoying that. So nice. I think if I could be outside like almost all the time, I would. Of course, with the weather, that's not always possible. Or I should say possible, but doable. For me, anyways. Sam said he's going to stop the Diet Coke and be regular at the gym and nightly walk. That's awesome. You are welcome. That's nice. And the walk, it's not like you have to, walk super fast like you're in a race or something, but just getting out in nature like that and walking. I remember many years ago when I lived in Sedona, I walked every evening and it was just I didn't walk super fast or anything, but it was just so relaxing, so enjoyable, and really, really nice. So yes, enjoy those walks. That would be really beneficial to you. Yes, we do. Tiffany said, you can do it, Samir. We believe in you, and we most certainly do. Sarah said, thank you so much. I've been feeling that I need to do that lately, but I put it off. Great validation. Don't put it off. Because I will tell you something, Sarah. And I was always like this too. If it was something for Austin, you wouldn't put it off. You would have done it. But because it's for you, you put yourself last. You can't do that. You have to come first. You have to. Okay. Who's next? Okay, Sam. I did Sam, right? Yep. Robin. See what we have for Robin. Ooh. It says, create your own happiness. Create your own happiness, Robin. You have the power. And this made me think of when my mom was still here, and we were living together and I was taking care of her, and I was always like, bubbly and smiling all the time and laughing all the time. And this one day she says to me, "Are you really that happy?" I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "Why?" Because, some people feel like when you don't have perfect circumstances in life, what do you have to be happy about? But you know what? Those outer things are never going to give us any kind of happiness. That all comes from within, and it is a choice. It's a choice you have to get up and make every single day. And when you do, it does change your life. It completely changes your life. And when you realize that your happiness is up to you and not anyone else, it's very powerful. Because a lot of times, we might look for someone like in a relationship, someone that's going to be how many times have you heard that? This is my better half. There's no such thing. And so just realize how much power you hold for your own life. You get to choose to be happy. And it's not a reflection of all the things going on in your life, all the things going on in your world. You can still be happy. And a lot of people feel like, and I've heard people say this before, when I have more money, I'll be happy. And my son was showing me some videos a couple weeks ago where these people were going out, and it was some kind of a, like, I can't think of what it's called. There's a little phrase for it. But they were going out and making these videos. They would go up to someone pretending to be homeless and ask them, like, do you have some change, or do you have $1? And a lot of them would just either ignore them or say, no, I don't have any money, blah, blah, blah. And he went up to this homeless guy, or was sitting by this homeless guy. And he's like, yeah, man, I'm just really hungry, really hungry. The homeless man gave him like $1. Sometimes it's the people that have a lot less that give more because they know what it feels like to go without. So don't ever feel like you're going to be happy when you get that house, or when you get that job, or when you get that money, or when your bank account is overflowing. You get to choose to be happy. Robin said, wow, I have been working on this and was working on my mood earlier. Matches the powerful message I got while spirit writing today. Thank you. You are so welcome. You are welcome, Robert. Okay, Robin. Now we're up to Veronica. Veronica. Trust your intuition. She's always right. Always trust your intuition. Always. And I know you are so intuitive. You pick up on so much, and you feel so much. And not that this is you, but I think sometimes people, when they feel that much, it can kind of be frightening to them. But I don't feel like it scares you. I just feel like sometimes you're like, well, I don't know. I think I need some validation for that. But you will always get that validation when you ask for it and when you really need it. But I just feel like your intuition is so strong, and you use it a lot. So it's just getting even stronger and stronger and stronger. So keep continuing to do that. And always trusting it 100%, Veronica, 100. Okay. Now I have Joyce and Richard. So if anyone else wants a message, you're going to have to put it in the comments pretty quick. Let's see. Okay. Joyce. Oh. Same card came up for you. Trust your intuition. She's always right. And I know cards have come up about this for you before, about your intuition and how good your intuition is and how strong it is. And to keep trusting it more and more, Joyce. I feel like you're getting a lot of information right now, a lot of new information. So maybe if you need to, start writing some stuff down. So if you're like me, you'll this idea will pop into your head. It might be like a sentence that's like worded so perfectly, and you'll say it over to yourself a few times in your head, and you'd be like, I won't forget that. And then like a couple hours later, you're like, what was that again? And it's totally gone. So write things down so you don't forget. And it's always fun, when these things pop into our head, it's always fun to just jot down. We don't have to analyze it and figure out what it means. Just write down what you're getting, because later on it's going to make a whole lot more sense. Just trust that you're getting the information for a reason. Oh, Robin, you're so funny. Robin says, thank you for a wonderful show. I have been sitting in a parking lot. Your show made me hungry for dinner. Going to drive now. Oh, well, I hope you eat something healthy, Robin. That's hilarious. You're welcome, Veronica. So that was Joyce. And now Richard. Richard. Yep, Joyce said some of them don't make sense. See, just write down what you get. Don't try to worry about what does this mean? What does that mean? Because I feel like after a while, it's going to make perfect sense. Perfect sense. I'll get this once in a while, I'll get a nudge and it'll tell me like, this is what I need to do. And I'll be like, well, that's just insane. Why? Well, I don't need to ask why. I forget that sometimes. And then later down the road, there's always a reason. I have been in like the craft store before and saw some stuff like on clearance or on sale. And I'm like, wow, that's a good deal, but I'm never going to use that. It's not anything I've ever used before. And that little voice would say, buy it, buy it, buy it, buy it. I would buy it. And then like within a couple of weeks, something would come up where I needed it. And it would just make me laugh every single time. And the first time I think I didn't listen. And then I had to go out to the store to get whatever it was. So ever since then, I listen to that. And anytime I'm at the store and it gives me a message like that, I always do it. And it always turns out for a reason. Something that I didn't know that was going to happen down the road. Very interesting. That's happened to me at the grocery store too. Okay, Richard, remove the limiting labels that you are wearing. Do not limit yourself. One thing that I have never liked were labels. Why we want to label or define ourselves. Because that just puts us like in a box, right? And we don't want to be like that. Veronica said, oh my gosh, yes, Ruth, I do that. And when I need it, I laugh too. Yeah, isn't that crazy? I love that. But I learned my lesson the first time when I didn't listen. So I always listened after that. So if you have any limiting beliefs about yourself, Richard, or what you can do, you need to remove them. Get rid of them. Get rid of them. Because you are limitless. You are limitless. The only thing that can limit you or define you are your beliefs, right? What you think about yourself. So I hope that message resonates with you. I want to thank everyone for joining me tonight. I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys will come back next week. Next week it's going to be June. Oh, and for all of you who watch Melissa Park's show, Joyful Findings, she'll be back this week on Friday. I know I've missed her show the last couple of weeks, so I'll be excited to see her back. So everyone have a great week. I love you all. Good night.
Become a Goldylocks Productions VIP. Join our circle of VIPs and receive exclusive access to live stream specials and other epic perks. You can join the Goldylocks Productions VIP communities either through Patreon or the YouTube community. Join today.